You know that feeling when you look at a German sentence and it's just a total jumble? Like someone dumped a puzzle box out on the table and walked away? Well, today, we're going to become master puzzle solvers. We're going to crack the code. Okay, just look at this mess. Mutter die Dim kauft kleinen Süßigkeiten Kind leckere. I mean, all the right words are in there, but without any kind of structure, it's just chaos, right? It's like having all the ingredients for a cake, but just throwing them into a bowl at random. You're not getting a cake, you're getting, well, a disaster. Seriously, does anyone get this? It's complete gibberish. And this is exactly why grammar isn't just about a bunch of boring rules. Nope, it's the instruction manual that turns that chaos into actual meaning.
And boom, just like that. Die Mutter kauft dem kleinen Kind leckere Süßigkeiten. The mother buys the little child tasty sweets. All of a sudden, it makes perfect sense. So what changed? The order. The secret to getting that order right is understanding that German sentences are built from these distinct parts, which are called Satzglieder.
Think of Satzglieder as Lego blocks. Seriously. Each block is its own little unit of meaning, and a sentence is just a chain of these blocks all clicked together. Now, a single block could be just one word, or it could be a whole group of words that stick together. Our mission, then, is to figure out how to spot these blocks in any sentence. So how do we actually find them? Our first tool is something called the Umstellprobe. It's basically the rearrangement test. And here's the cool part. You take a group of words you think might be a single block, and you just move it somewhere else in the sentence. If the sentence still makes sense, congratulations, you found a Satzglied.
Let's see this in action, okay? Take the sentence, Lukas schenkt mir ein neues Auto. We can shuffle these blocks around and say, ein neues Auto schenkt mir Lukas, or even mir schenkt Lukas ein neues Auto. See how the core meaning doesn't change at all? Lukas is still giving me a new car. That's how we know for sure that we found our 4 building blocks. Okay, now that we know how to find the blocks, let's learn what they actually are. Any good investigation starts with the most important clue, right? Well, in a German sentence, that clue is always the predicate, or das Prädikat.
The predicate is the absolute heart of the sentence. It's the action, the verb, it's the engine that makes the whole thing go. So in Die Katze spielt mit dem Ball, the action, the thing that's actually happening, is spielt, plays. Without that single word, it's not a sentence. It's just a cat and a ball hanging out. And here's the key, the master question to find it every single time. You just ask, was tut? What is it doing? Or was geschieht? What is happening? So for our cat sentence, we ask, was tut die Katze? And the answer is spielt. Found it. This is your #1 detective question always. The predicate is so reliable. It's your best friend in this whole process. First off, it's always a verb, and every single sentence has to have one, no exceptions. But here's the real giveaway, its location. In a normal statement, it's like an anchor, holding down that second position. And if you make it a question, it jumps right to the front. The whole sentence pivots around it. All right, we found the action. So, what's the next logical question for any good detective? Well, who did it? We need to find the doer of the action, which in grammar speak is called the subject, or das Subjekt. Check out this sentence. The action, our predicate, is klaut, which means steals. Now we need to know who or what is doing the stealing. It's der freche Hund, the cheeky dog. That's our subject. It's the main character performing the action. And just like we had for the predicates, there's a super simple question to find the subject. You just ask, wer oder was? Who or what? So for our sentence, wer oder was klaut das Brötchen? The answer, der freche Hund. It's that easy. With just those 2 questions, you already have the most important keys to unlock pretty much any German sentence. So we have the action and we have the doer. The main parts of our case are totally cracked. But to get the full story, we need to fill in some of those crucial details. And that's where the objects come in. Objects are simply the parts of the sentence that receive the action. Let's go back to our cheeky dog. What did he steal? The bread roll. That's the direct object. It was directly affected by the stealing. In German, we call that the Akkusativobjekt. We find it by asking wen oder was, whom or what. But who lost the bread roll? The student. She is the indirect object, the Dativobjekt. And we find that by asking wem, to whom. See, these objects add the essential color to our story. So let's recap everything. Here is your foolproof 3-step detective method that you can now use on any German sentence. Step 1, find the action, the predicate, by asking was tut. Step 2, find the doer, the subject, by asking wer oder was. And finally, step 3, fill in all the details by finding the objects with their own special questions. That is the whole method, right there.
Let's run one final case together. Der Mann gibt dem Kellner Trinkgeld. The man gives the waiter a tip. Okay, detective, let's do this. Step 1, the action. Was tut der Mann? He gibt, gives. That's our predicate. Step 2, the doer. Wer gibt? Der Mann. That's our subject. Step 3, the details. Wem gibt es? To whom does he give it? Dem Kellner. That's our dative object. And wen oder was gibt Whom or what does he give? Trinkgeld, our accusative object. Case closed. See how that works?
You know, we started with a totally jumbled puzzle, and now you have the complete detective's toolkit. You know how to spot the building blocks, and you know the exact questions to ask to figure out what each one is doing. So I guess the only question left is, what sentence are you going to investigate next?